What's up, guys? Simply Coco here, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to another speed build here in The Sims 4. I don't know what that was. Anyway, as you can tell from the title, I am building a Hispanic inspired tiny home for 8 Sims today. Um, I will go ahead and say this is technically a part of my 31 Days of Halloween series. It's just not really Halloween inspired, or yeah, it's it's just a build that I really wanted to do because we got the new Hispanic objects with the Hispanic Heritage Month update. So in order to tie it into the 31 Days of Halloween series, we're just gonna say it's autumnal build because of the color scheme. So we'll just go for that. But yeah, I really wanted to build this because we did get those new items, and I've never done the whole build a tiny home for 8 sim challenge, so I kind of wanted to take a stab at that as well. You can kind of ignore almost everything I'm doing, or well, now you know why, because it completely changed. That middle section of the house I bumped back a little bit, and then I think I changed out the windows. But now we're gonna start on the landscaping. These bushes I really like them. They're from Get Together in Debug. Yeah, sizing them down twice make them the perfect size, and I like the texture on them. As far as everything else, I just look around the lot to see what's around it. Right now you're seeing me struggle to find this prickly bush that's to the left of your screen. It takes me a long time to find it. I don't know why, it's just base game. I really could have filtered it, but I didn't, and I eventually found it. There was a small cut a minute ago, and then it was there in the front yard. But yeah, landscaping is pretty much wrapping up already. I will go ahead and say that I did this a lot differently than I feel like most people would when they're doing I built a tiny home for 8 sim challenge. So the interior is all sleeping space. Yeah, the interior is all bedrooms except for one bathroom, and there's a small living area, but the majority of things that you can do in this house are actually in the backyard. Yeah. So there's not a kitchen in this house. There's just a grill and an outside dining table. But I'll get into that more as the build goes on. That first tree you saw me pull out is actually from Journey to Bat 2. So I'm sorry if you don't have that pack, but it has like these ribbons tied on the branches, and for some reason that just really spoke Hispanic, or not, that just really said Hispanic to me, and I don't know why, because the only like cultures that I've seen like with ribbons on the trees is in the Indian culture, like Asia, Indian. I'm sorry if that you know what I'm saying. Not Native Americans, but Indian. So the because oddly enough, in the Cheetah Girls 3 movie, where the one character they're walking through like a little town center or something, and like a guru looking guy stops them and say, "Hey, make a wish and tie it on the." Make a wish on this rope or ribbon or something and tie it on this tree, and then if the wish comes true, come back and untie the rope or ribbon or whatever it is. So that's kind of what the tree gave off to me. I know this is Hispanic and not Indian culture, but I don't know. I don't know. It just gave me Hispanic vibes. So if you're Hispanic, if you all do something with ribbons and trees, let me know. I'm not very well versed in many cultures, so it's great that I'm doing this build, and I will be doing future builds like this. So I will definitely be doing my research and engulfing myself in all different cultures. But if I'm ever doing a build to a specific culture that is yours and I say something wrong or offensive, definitely let me know. And if you just want to teach me more about your culture, you can do that in the comments as well. But this is the entrance. This is the small little living room that I was talking about. So it just has a couch with a end table that actually came from Island Living. Now I'm putting a different pictures around. I tried to find a lot of, or not a lot of, but I tried to find some pictures with faces because, excuse me if you heard that. I tried to find some pictures with faces because when I do think of the Hispanic culture, I think of the movie Coco, which I'm also building his house, Miguel's house from the movie, Coco's house, whatever. I'm building the house from the movie Coco, so that will be coming, if not this week, next week. But what I have seen from what I do know of the Hispanic culture is they're all about family. So any photo that has people on it, I assume is a family member of theirs, and so on and so forth. But so to the right of the living room was actually the kids' room, and where the kids' room is actually used to be the kitchen for this house. And which is why there's an awning into that room. I mean, an archway into that room instead of an actual door. And then this room used to actually be the dining room of this house, which is why there's an archway into there as well from what used to be the kitchen. So the room that I'm decorating now with this double bed is the parents' room. They are the parents of the 3 kids that sleep in the room that used to be the kitchen. So that's why there's tile on the wall in the kids' room, because that used to be the backsplash for the kitchen. So what I imagine the storyline is but this house would belong to like first generation Hispanic couple that came over from Mexico or Central America or South America or wherever, and they found this house. It was a 1-bedroom house, and this is where they lived. And then they had a daughter or a son. I really haven't decided yet. And they didn't have the money to get a bigger house. So what they did was turn the dining room into that kid's room. And then that kid, got older, went off to college and all of that. And maybe when they met their significant other, neither one of them could find a job, and they didn't really have the means to go out and move on their own. So they came and lived with the parents. So yeah, they live under one roof now. So if you have counted by now, there are only 7 beds. So there's 3 kids, 2 parents, and 2 grandparents. But towards the end of the build, I do give them some objects for a pet dog. I don't know why it took me so long to get that out, but yeah, they will have a dog, just because, well, first of all, I realized, oh crap, there's only 7 spots for people to sleep. And then I was like, at the same time, I was like, that's okay, because I really feel like this would be the type of family to have a dog running around. At the same time, though, whenever I'm watching people do these types of challenges, like, oh, I built a micro home for 8 Sims or a tiny home for 8 Sims or blah, 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 and then 2 of the Sims, quote unquote, are pets, I kind of almost consider that cheating a little bit. But I mean, technically, pets do take up room, like they do take up space in your household. So like if you have 8 Sims, like if you have 8 people Sims living in your household, you can't add a dog because that's adding an extra living being to your household. So it's, I mean, it's technically not cheating, but at the same time, I just like feel a little off about it. I feel like it takes away a little bit of the challenge. Um, but yeah, I did give them a dog, and I guess you hadn't count. I did. I guess you weren't able to count all the beds yet because I'm just now adding the grandparents' bed. So that was the master bedroom. I imagine that's, the room that's, it's always been there. It's always been the grandparents' room. It's always been decorated like that. Um, yeah, so they just didn't have the money to get a bigger house. I imagine maybe the dad, the grandfather, let me say, maybe does yard work. He mows lawns and stuff like that. Not being stereotypical or anything. I'm just trying to come up with something as to why maybe they don't have a whole lot of money. And then I would say the grandmother is a gardener or something like that. Maybe she sells flower arrangements, and that also doesn't make a huge, amount of money. Um, and then that live the parents that live there now with their kids, um, probably make enough money to move out, but the grandparents are getting older, so they're just staying there while they get older, so they can take care of them instead of moving to San Myshuno or some other city where they're far away from um, the elder Sims. So that's the storyline. Now I am moving on to the backyard. As I said earlier, and as it has been confirmed, there is not a kitchen in this build at all. Um, so the only place you can cook is on that grill. I don't see a problem with that because I was thinking like, wow, there's not a fridge, so they would never have anything to drink. But they can get water from the sink in the bathroom. And like if you look at your like needs, there's not a need on there that says thirst. Your Sims never need anything to drink. It would suck like if this was a real home and I lived here, I would die because I drink juice 24 hours a day if I'm at home. So not having a fridge and not being able to have that, and just like having cups and having to go get water out of the sink in the bathroom would literally kill me. But maybe these people are used to it. But yeah, as you saw just now, I did switch this little outdoor seating area to be over here, and under I don't know what it's called, so I'm just gonna call it a gondola or a gazebo. Under that, I just left the dining table by itself. And I do end up putting a dog bed under the little awning as well, just because I imagine outside is where they spend the majority of their time, because they all can't sit in the living room and watch TV together. There's no TVs or anything in the bedrooms. There's nothing to do in the bedrooms other than sleep, so I imagine they spend most of their time outside. Now that I'm thinking about it, I forgot to put like a lot of outside lighting. I mean, I put a few, but not really enough to do anything. So I'm going to go back and add more outside lighting. And I do think I need a stereo out here in the back, because another thing I do know about the Hispanic culture, they do love their music. Love their music. So there definitely would be a stereo back here, and they would definitely spend a lot of time back here with the music playing. If they're not eating, they're sitting around talking. If they're not talking, they're up dancing. The kids are playing. The grandma is back here flower arranging, and yeah, just all kinds of stuff. They probably have, friends and family over, and they just, chill out back here in the backyard. I will do some rearranging here in a second, because I did want to get in some monkey bars for the kids. So I don't know if you see me do it, But basically what I do is move some of those planter boxes underneath the tree, and then move the flower arranging table over here to the right if you can see it. But this is me placing down the dog stuff. And yeah, other than that, guys, the screenshots will be rolling soon. I will be streaming tomorrow night at 7 p.m. over on Twitch. That is twitch.tv/simplycoco. Other than that, I will see you tomorrow on YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll always respond to your comments. And please hit that notification bell so you know exactly when I post my next video, exactly when I post it, and I will see you all then. Bye.